What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the rePORTER Show, man. As always, I want to welcome my co-hosts, Devin Acosta and Josh Tucker. I'm going to get straight to it because we ain't got a lot of time and we got too much information. So I'm going to start it off with baseball. At the SAC tournament, of course, they faced off against USAO at the beginning of the tournament. And to get right into it, we had 2 outs at the bottom of the first. I'm thinking, okay, cool, you know, get the first 3 outs, keep it going. We had 2 outs. And then we gave up an error that allowed them to score a run. And then, of course, after the error, we gave up a hit that allowed them to score another run. And so, you know, with 2 outs, they did a little damage. They scored 2 runs, and so we were down 2-0 at the end of 1. In the bottom second, Juan hit a guy. Then he walked the guy. Then a hit. That loaded the bases, of course. So we got 1 out with the bases loaded against a very dangerous offensive team. So you already know what happened.
USAO, yes.
Yeah, you already know what happened. They started going crazy. So they scored 4 runs, 4 more runs. So now we down 6-0 in 2 innings. Top of the 4th, lead off, hit by pitch. Then Memo came up, he singled to left, then a walk, loaded the bases with 1 out. So now we looking good. We looking to attack. You know, we got bases loaded. Then BP came up, singled through the right side to score our first run of the game. But then, right after that, we hit into a double play, end of the inning. So, only got 1 run, now we down 7-1. Top of the 5th, JJ was hit by a pitch again, made his way around the 3rd, then Gustavo came up and drove him in with a single to right to make it 8-2. So chipping away here and there. Top of the 6th, after an error and a walk, Hato doubled to left, to the left center gap, scoring 2 to make it 10-4. So now, JJ follows that up with a single to center to score Hato. Now it's 10-5, okay? 5 runs ain't bad. After that, though, we ain't hit no more. That would be the end of the game. Pitching-wise, we didn't hold up too well. As a staff, we gave up 11 runs on 11 hits, 9 walks, 4 Ks, and we ended up losing this one, 11-5. Take y'all into this next matchup against OPSU. Now, as you all know, OPSU is OPSU. We don't lose to OPSU.
Nah, we don't.
All right? So we had nothing really going on until the 3rd. After Cooper walked, Samuel came up, hit a 2-run shot. We went up 3-0, as it should be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bottom of the 3rd, we started playing to the level of our competition. We had 3 errors, and then we gave up 2 hits. After all that, they scored 3 runs and tied it at 3 all off just 2 hits. Top of the 4th, Knob came up to the plate. He got hit by pitch. Liam and Hato came up back-to-back singles to score him. We went back up 4-3. All right. Right after that, Felix singled to right to score Hato to make it 5-3. So we getting back on the right side of things. We turn right around though in the bottom of the 4th, and we walked the bases loaded. Allowed them to score 3 runs on 1 hit to go up 6-5.
You can't do that. Not against no OPSU.
That's what I'm saying.
Man.
Not against OPSU. But let me keep it going. We tied in the top of the 5th after Cooper tripled to right. I don't know how he tripled to right field. I guess he went into the bullpen, and Buddy was over there. You know, the camera angle didn't get the corner, so we didn't know what he was doing, but he was over there doing something. They ain't got our camera crew. He was probably over there doing something stupid, and Buddy made his way all the way around the 3rd base. After that, where I'm at. Goodness gracious, I lost my track of thought. Oh, here we go. And then Memo hit in after a sac fly. So he hit a sac fly, he ended up scoring. And then top of the 8th, after Nava walk, JJ doubled to right field to score Riley from 2nd. A little while later, Felix hit a shallow pop fly to right that got down and scored JJ from 2nd as well to go up 8-6. In the bottom of the 8th with 2 outs, the game was delayed until the next morning. So that's a terrible time for the game to be delayed. You only got 1 more inning to play, and it's like, all right, now y'all finna have to come back in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Now y'all finna come back in the morning and play an inning of baseball and then jump into another game. So that sucks for them, but they came back the next day, and top of the 9th, Samuel singled to left, Memo singled to right, Riley singled to left, scoring 1, and then JJ singled to right, scoring another. So came out with the bats hot this day, so I guess it was good that they had to go take a little sleep. Maybe they needed that rest. You know what I'm saying? And then Liam comes up to the plate, and he clears the bases with a 3-run shot to left field to go up 13-6. So this is a score against OPSU. This is what it's supposed to look like. We put it out of reach. We ended up winning this one 14-10. So they ended up scoring 4 runs in the last inning, but we're not gonna get on that. Some notable players from this one was Felix. He was 4 for 5 with 2 RBIs. JJ was 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs. Liam was 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs, and Samuel was 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs. So who do we end up playing after that? USAO.
USAO.
Yes,
man.
sir. So back to USAO. So let's see how this one panned out for us. To start this one off, it was Bach on the mound. Bach on the mound means good things, right?
Consistency.
Consistency.
Consistency. Reliable.
No, sir. Not this time around. Not this time around. That boy gave up 3 hits, 1 walk, and he hit a batter. That was all in 1 inning.
Oof. Yeah, that's rough. That's a rough start to the game.
Yeah, that's not a good start to the game. So that allowed USAO to score 3 in the top of the first. Felix doubled to left to start us off, and later Samuel singled to left to score Felix to make it 3-1 USAO after 1 inning. In the 4th and the 5th, we had bases loaded with 2 outs. Couldn't come up with a run. Now, that's okay, because when you got 2 outs, it only take 1 out to end the inning.
True.
But it still sucks.
It's understandable because you got bases loaded. You're in scoring position,
Yeah.
and you want to capitalize on that, especially against a team like USAO.
Exactly.
Yeah, so, I ain't gonna lie. You're going to be swinging for the fences in that situation.
Yeah, and so, I mean, we did capitalize, but, you know, it's still tough because it's like that's 6 base runners left on base.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it sucks, but we couldn't capitalize. Bottom of the 7th, Felix singled to left, and later on Samuel walked, and then the pitcher balked to put us at 2nd and 3rd. A memo would come up to the plate and ground out to first, but that ended up scoring a run to make it 5-2 USAO. But that would be the end to our offense. We were going to lose this one, 6-2. Some notable players from this one was Felix again, who was 3 for 4, and also in relief through 5 innings, only gave up 1 run on 4 hits, 1 walk, and 4 Ks. So Buddy was doing it on the mound and offensively.
So I feel like Felix is always pretty reliable. I feel like we say his name.
We say his name
pretty often on notable players.
every game.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So props to him for that consistency.
Absolutely. And Cooper was 2 for 4 on the day as well. So the next thing for them will be the NCCA championships. After that, they would have had to win the conference tournament to go on to the NAI championships, and we did not do that. So the next day for them is the NCCA championships, and that will be the 18th through the 22nd. I'm going to go ahead and get into these awards so we can go ahead and jump to the next subject. The awards: 2nd team all conference, Felix Polanco. Gold gloves, Juan Gil Franco, who was a pitcher, and then Hayden Ingram, who was our shortstop. So they got some gold glove nominees. So props to y'all for getting that.
I mean, I'm glad we got some guys to come back to Plainview with some all-conference accolades, but, man, I ain't going to sugarcoat it. I'm disappointed in the baseball team, man. And, you know, they could say, oh, we're disappointed in the basketball team, but it's like, man, when are we going to get to this? We're in the little gray area in the conference. It's like we beat OPSU, we beat Southwest Christian, Central Christian, all the sorry teams, but when are we going to be a real threat to those top dog teams? Because I know we got the talent and I know we got the staff to do so, but it's like, when are we going to get it in our heads that, like, bro, we could be as good as these USAOs, OCUs,
No, I agree.
you know what I'm saying?
It's like a mediocre.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like we're content with being okay. And like you said, with what we have, the weapons that we have available, I feel like we should be achieving a whole lot more than we do.
Yeah.
I think so, too. I mean, it's like every year, it's like, what do we just plan to go through conference and then, okay, we'll see USAO and then that'll be our season. Like, granted, I'm glad to go into the NCCA. That's a good opportunity. But, you know, I think at some point in time, we got to realize, like, man, we can be one of the alphas of the SAC. And that's not just in baseball, but I mean every sport, like men's basketball included. It's like, man, we just as Wayland as a whole, we got to realize, like, man, we can compete with all these teams in the SAC. Like, we're the only thing stopping us from doing that.
Absolutely. I think that's going to start from the top. We got to have some mentalities to be dogs.
True.
If we going to recruit dogs, we got to treat them like dogs. You know what I'm saying? So if they're not doing right, snatch them out the game and put somebody else in. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to start from the top. But we got some dogs, man. I hope that y'all can make something happen at the NCCA championships and then take it on the next year and maybe go to the NAIA and make something different happen for next year. But we're going to go ahead and jump into softball because we got some time ticking on it. Also at the SAC tournament, they started off their matchup against Southwestern Christian, which they ended their regular season against Southwestern Christian, tying the series at 2-2, split the series. So top of the first, Jaden and Maddie had back-to-back singles to right center. Then Berkeley tried to squeeze a run in, but a nice play by the pitcher kept us from scoring to get that run out at home. Top of the 6th, Jenna doubled down the left field line, a little life with a runner on already, you know. So the next batter walked, which loaded the bases with 2 outs. So another situation like baseball, but then we ended up lining right back out to the pitcher. Can't really do nothing about that. You hit the ball hard, it just went straight to somebody. So we couldn't score with the bases loaded there. Outside of the first inning, we could not get much going offensively. Will not lie to you. Biggest thing I noticed is we had the same amount of hits, but we just couldn't capitalize when we put our runners in scoring position, and Southwestern Christian did capitalize. We had the same exact hits. They had 7 hits, we had 7 hits. They had 1 error, we had 1 error. Same stats across the board.
Just a matter of capitalizing on opportunities.
Exactly. So same stats, but then when you look at the run differential, it was 5-0. So I don't know how that happened, but it happened. Jaden was 2 for 4 on, and Jenna was 2 for 3 as well on the day. Next up, they had Sagu. This was like an OPSU for baseball. So this is a matchup where, okay, take it away, go to the next game. Yeah, exactly. So bottom of the first, Reagan led off with a walk. Then Jaden dropped down a perfect bunt, as she always does. I feel like that's just automatic. She's going to come up and drop down that bunt and get on. Made it to first safely and then advanced to second on the throw to third to try and get Reagan. So the ball was being thrown around a little bit, so then we ended up with runners in second and third. Great scoring position to start off the game. Next AB, Reagan was thrown out on a fielder's choice, but Jaden advanced to third and scored on a pass ball to make it 1-1. I will say, Reagan, the number 1 rule when you're on third base is
Go and look her in the eye, man. So
check me out. Do not take off if the ball is hit to third or the pitcher, because it's the shortest play that they have to make is to come home. And then, you know, we could have ended up with 2 runs instead of 1.
True.
In a bigger game, that could be very costly. But in a game like this, I guess it really don't matter because it's Sagu. We're going to score anyway. So, anywho, next one, Michaela singled to left to score another, which made it 2-1 after 1. Next, Sagu answered in the top of the second after a walk and 2 hits to score 2, making it 3-2 Sagu. So now they went back up. So now they trying to compete a little bit. Bottom of the second, Maddie singled up the middle, then Absidy dropped down a bunt, and on the throw to first, there was an error and a collision, so she continued to second, and on the throw to second, was thrown out, but of course, during all that, Maddie was able to score. You know, you got this throw going here, that throw going there, this girl on the ground, so, you know, Maddie was just running around the bases until she ended up scoring. Addie came up and singled to the right center gap, then Reagan doubled to deep left field, and then Jenna cleared the bases with a line shot to center to make it 5-3 after 2 innings of play. Next 3 innings required for both teams. Top of the 6th, Sagu scored 1 after a double and 2 flyouts, but bottom of the 6th, we answered after this single by Addie that scored a run, making it 6-4, and we went on to win this one 6-4. Clarissa held them to 4 runs on 7 hits, 2 walks, and 1 strikeout. Some notable players was Reagan, she was 3 for 3. Michaela was 2 for 3 with an RBI, and Jenna was 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Next, they got to play Southwestern Christian again. So it's like, all right,
here we go.
Let's make it happen. Reagan led off with a walk, then Jaden, as always, dropped down a sack bunt, and then Jenna singled down the left field line to score her to make it 1-0. So they have that top 3 are going to produce a run.
Every time
they produce the run every time at the beginning of that game, man.
Little system they got
it
going,
is.
Man.
It's a perfect system.
Yeah, for sure.
Bottom of the third, after 4 hits in the air, Southwestern Christian scored 4 runs to go up 4-1. Top of the 4th, Michaela singled to center field, then Ariana singled to center field to score her to make it 4-2 Southwestern. Top of the 5th, Reagan led off with a single up the middle, then Jaden walked, and then Jenna dropped down a sack bunt to move those runners over. Then Maddie came up, and she hit a sack fly to score a run to make it 4-3 Southwestern Christian. Top of the 6th, Michaela led off with a walk. Of course, Ariana dropped down a sack bunt to move her over. It's a system, like you said, they got that thing down. When somebody get on, you better know it's finna be a bunt. It's finna be a bunt. Then Addie singled up the middle, and then Amber hit a dribbler past first to tie the game at 4-all. Next play, Reagan hit a ball to third, and the runner took off to home. She got thrown out, of course. And it goes back to what I said to Reagan. Young lady, if the ball is hit to the pitcher or the third baseman, you freezing or go back. don't go forward because it ain't hard for the third baseman from here to probably about, well, y'all can't see no distance, but y'all know the distance on the field from about third to home to make a little throw to throw you out going home, or for the pitcher, that's an even shorter throw. You know what I'm saying? Anywho, that happened. We didn't end up scoring on that one, so we went into the 7th, tied 4-4. Bottom of the 6th, with 2 outs, Southwestern Christian put together 4 hits and a walk to score 4 runs to go up 8-4. And y'all know that's going into the last inning. Man. So now we got to score 4 runs if we want to stay alive in this tournament. So, bottom of 7th, we got 2 outs. And I'm thinking, well, they did it.
Yeah.
They did it with 2 outs. Let's see if we can do it with 2 outs. So let's see what happened. Berkeley walked. Then Michaela singled to center field. Then Ariana reached on an error, which allowed a run to score. So I'm like, okay, that's 1 right there. Then Addie walked after being down 0-2. 0-2 in the count and worked the walk. So that's big.
Great.
Yeah.
Great
That's big.
Great
so that loaded the bases.
Great
then Amber, exactly.
Great.
Then Amber comes up. She drills one to right field. What happens to the right fielder? It's wet. It's been raining all day. She slipped and fell. The ball went to the fence. I'm like, this is something right here. Everybody was running. So all 3 of the runs scored, which tied the game at 8-all. So then, this game went into 3 extra innings. Man. 3 extra innings. So top of the 10th.
It's a battle.
It is.
It was a straight battle.
It definitely was. And because after that, the weather delay and all that extra stuff, it was just like, my goodness. I mean, let's just end the game and move on to the next thing. Yeah.
Somebody wins.
Exactly. And so top of the 10th, runner in scoring position with 1 out. Ball gets hit to shortstop, and the runner advanced to third and got thrown out. Why? What? This ain't no different from being on third. If you're on second and you ain't got nobody behind you, that means that you do not have to go. You do not have to run. The ball gets hit right in front of you, and they take and you taking off. What you doing? The ball right there. All they got to do is either run up to you and tag you, or throw it to third, which is exactly what happened. They threw it to third and got the lead runner out. That's the runner that you want to score. So we didn't end up scoring that run, so we went into the bottom of the 10th, and the where am I? Oh, so the bottom of the 10th, and then after 0-2, we got a batter down to 0-2. We ended up hitting the batter, which put a runner on first, and then to follow that, we couldn't make a play at first after a bunt. I can't really say it was on the pitcher or the first baseman. It's one of those situations where, yeah, the first baseman could have scooped it, but also the pitcher could have thrown it at her chest. It was just like one of those things where, like, you can't really put it on nobody. It is what it is. Yeah, exactly. And so the ball got away, and they ended up scoring off of that, and that's how the game ended.
That was it.
That's a rough ending to the season.
Yeah, that one stings a little bit.
Yeah,
because you battled, so like they battled back.
Yeah,
and against a team that they beat before.
Yes, and they had plenty of situations where they could have scored a run, and they
beat ourselves.
Did it?
Like,
there you go.
We beat ourselves. Like, honestly, like, I feel like it was a lack of focus, lack of patience when it comes to base running, and that's what honestly hurt us in the long run of that game. Yeah, it was like you said, plenty of times we could have got some runs in, and out of, I guess, greed or just like excitement, just wanted to get it, just wanted to get it right then and there. And we lacked patience, and that kind of sold the game.
I mean, you got to think about it. This just kind of shows the youth of our team and experience that our team has, and they kind of expose us of that. And I mean, yeah, we could have made better plays. I think most people would know not to run or not to, you know what I'm saying, take that risk and try to get to third instead of just staying on second. But, you know, they kind of made it obvious that this is our first year as a program. We got a lot of young players, players who haven't played in any big-time softball games in their college career. So I think that is, you can point the finger at that as well for us losing. But I just hate to see us lose against a team that we know we beat before. That's the part that hurts me.
Has so much potential.
Yeah,
Well, see, like, it looked bright. Like, for a young team like that, it was looking amazing.
Exactly. Amazing. And that's the key word, a young team.
True.
If you got a young team where hopefully nobody transfers, you're bringing back the same exact team with more girls.
Exactly.
True.
You don't know how dangerous we're going to be next year.
I mean,
with more experience on their plate too.
I mean, like Coach said, he said it would be a win just to make the conference tournament. And so we had a chance to win a couple games in the conference tournament. And I mean, think back to when we first started covering them, they were getting thrashed by these D2s and bigger schools. And I'm sitting there thinking like, oh, you know what I'm saying? It might not, like it's their first year and we might suffer because of it. But I think all in all, it's a successful season because they gave us something to cheer for, and showed us that I think the future is very bright.
They
for
proved
them.
themselves for sure.
They did.
Most definitely did.
And I don't know if they'll be headed to the NCCAA championships, but if they do, it'll be the 14th through the 16th. First team all conference, Reagan Davis. So props to you. Reagan Davis with first team all conference and second team all conference, Addie Rich and Jaden Fernandez. Jaden Fernandez was a dog at third base, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm surprised she didn't get a gold glove, but she got second team all conference, so you got something. Yeah. Then honorable mentions was Michaela Carrillo and Berkeley Bradley, and Michaela also had a golden glove added to her stat list. So that's crazy that 5 of y'all got all conference awards in y'all's first year. That just goes to show how great this team is, and most of them girls are freshmen and sophomores. They finna be running the league within these next couple of years, man. So props to y'all, but we're gonna go ahead and jump to men's golf, man, because we only got a couple more minutes left. They were also at the SAC championships at the beginning of last week. After round 1, we found ourselves in second place with a score of 287, only 4 strokes behind number 4 Tex West. 3 guys around that top 10. Ben Luker led the team shooting 2 under par. Sasha Brindle was shooting 1 under par, and Jalen Thwani was shooting 1 over par. After round 2, we found ourselves dropping to third after we put up a score of 295, though. Sasha was the only one that improved this round, shooting 3 under par. Round 3, our score just progressively got worse. We ended with a score of 310, but seems as though everyone struggled in round 3, and we ended up placing second overall, once again behind number 4, Tex Westland. Gonna go out on a limb here and say that was probably because of the weather. I checked the weather after that, and I think either during the end of that round or after the round, it was a big storm that came in. But before that, of course, you know, before the storm comes, it's a bunch of wind. Yeah. So when you got a lot of wind going on, you don't. It could dictate some things. Yeah, sure. Exactly. And so I think that that's probably the reason why a lot of those scores were a lot higher on round 3. But 2 guys in the top 10, Sasha Brindle tied for 5th, shooting 4 over par with a score of 220, and then Ben Luker tied for 8th, shooting 5 over par with a score of 221. Zane Wellborn scored an eagle, in which there were only 4 in this tournament. Tough. Yeah, exactly. Their NAIA National Championship, I know that they will be headed to it. They're in the top 10, is in Dalton, Georgia on May 21st through 24th. They already won the NCCAA National Championship. Let's see if they can bring back 2. We didn't get the SAC championships, but let's hope we can get that NAIA. 2 of them things would be cool. And Ben Luker, of course, was the SAC Player of the Year in all conference. So props to you, my boy. Nice. Props to you. I'm going to take it on to women's golf. They were also at the SAC championships this last week. After round 1, we were 3rd with a score of 324 and would have to do some work if we wanted to make our way up to the top. Behind number 3 OKC and number 5 Texas Wesleyan. 2 players in that top 10 individually. Morgan Rutledge shooting 7 over par, and Mason Garrett was shooting 8 over par. Just like the men's, though, the scores got progressively worse. Round 2, we had a score of 330, and round 3, we had a score of 343. So individually, we only had 1 girl in the top 10, and that was Morgan Rutledge, and in 10th place, shooting 25 over par with a score of 241. They did not have any all-SAC nominees, and I know that the NCCAA for golf is in the fall, so of course,
so that was it?
Yeah. So I think that's it for them.
Yeah, that's it.
I think that's it for them. I don't think that they will be competing in the NAIA championships. So let's go ahead and jump into track and field. I'm going to talk about their awards because the awards did not come out the last time we talked about them. First team all conference, Keyshawn Garcia.
Of course.
Yeah, that didn't surprise me there.
Not at all.
Second team, Evans Pololet, Colin Goodman, DeAndre Harris, Ethan Jonason, Lorenzo Lucis, and Zach Shanklin. And women's third team all conference, Faith Castillo, Celeste Lozano, Danielle Pacheco, I'm sorry, not Daniel, Danielle, I'm sorry, Amber CA and Ashley CA. 13 of them are going to the NCCA National Championships this week, Wednesday through Friday, and as of right now, 4 are going to the NAIA Championships. That will be on the 22nd through the 24th, but as I talked to the coach yesterday, he mentioned to me that if they place good times at the NCCA National Championships, they could qualify for the NAIA National Championships as well.
Well, that's good. Yeah,
that is good.
They still have one last chance to still go to both tournaments, if they want, or both track meets if they wanted to.
Exactly, exactly. But folks, I did pretty good today. The reason why I had to speed through all that is because this is the last episode of this school year. So I wanted to have some time to really thank everybody that tuned in to us. I know we had our consistent viewers, so I really appreciate that. Whether you're faculty, staff, students, or just some random person out there that just likes watching the show, I really appreciate all of y'all. The biggest thing that I want to say is I want to have a big shout out to Ray Rush, who is, like I said earlier, in the fall semester, he's just been a big part of all of us. He's always behind the scenes. Nobody really sees all the things that he does, not just for this show, but for the school as a whole, for this department, for media communications and everything behind that. All of the students that helped out, the cameraman that came in throughout the year, that came in and helped us, whether they were getting paid or not getting paid. We had volunteers, we had people working. And as always, I want to thank my two guys right here that helped me out for the year, man. I don't think that people understand how difficult it can be to hop on a show and talk in front of the camera. Some people think it's easy, but once you get in front of that camera, you can freeze up.
Yeah. Man, I'm gonna pick on my boy, smooth basketball player Javante Jones. Man.
Yeah.
He sent me a Snapchat the other day. He was in black box. Yeah, I'm gonna take your job. Yeah. I said, all right, but when them lights turn on, that camera start saying record. A lot of y'all get a little scared, man.
Yeah.
But nah, it's been a blast, man. I appreciate you having us on here, and appreciate everybody watching, like you said, and of course Ray. Everything good, and Waylon Ray got his fingerprints on. So,
Absolutely.
Sure. Nah, it's been a blast this year, man.
I agree.
I'm excited for next year too, because y'all can't get rid of us.
I agree, man. I agree. It's a true blessing, like you said before. Something me and you had talked about last year, making happen, and we, because of Ray, you know, had it become true. And so, thank y'all to everybody who tuned in, and friends, family, students, staff, everybody. We really appreciate it. All the love and support.
And I want to give a big shout out to all the spring sports out there that are still competing. I know that we might not be able to cover y'all. I will try my best to try to do something for y'all next week. I know that these guys are going to be headed home. Y'all know it's finals week. Everybody's going to be getting up out of here. I'm going to still have to be here because I'm 11 months, so I got to stay out here and work over the summer. But I'm going to hopefully get something for y'all, man. And I just want to say for softball, first-year coach, first-year team, that's big. For what y'all did, y'all also had a lot of nominees in all conference awards. And for baseball and for track, first-year coach as well, that also did some big things for men's and women's side of things, cross country as well. And then you had men's golf and women's golf that are also competing and doing great things. And I really hope and pray that going into the championships, these teams that have these tournaments coming up, that y'all do very well, that y'all have safe travels, and that y'all come back with some hardware, man. That'd be good to see. And on top of that, I just want to say thank y'all to those of y'all once again that helped me, that sent in info when I didn't have the right information, that sent in highlights when I was looking for highlights, and whatever else it is that y'all did for me that I did not say thank you for. So that's all we got for y'all this year, man. If y'all have something that y'all want to say before we go, we got a minute. Hey, man, if y'all got anything y'all want to say.
Let's turn up next year, man. Football, volleyball, basketball, wrestling, golf, everybody turn up next year, man. I'm looking forward to a whole lot more of a fun show. Hopefully next year we can add some stuff here and there, make it a little bit more fun for not only us but the students and the viewers and everybody who watches as well. And so maybe we'll get some little post-game interviews going and stuff like that.
That's the goal, man.
Like, yeah, man, we got big plans ahead. So I'm looking forward to next year, man.
Yeah, I'm just go off what he said. I think, you know, we took a big step in the right direction just as a program, the media program, the school, man. I think we're doing a lot of good for the sports teams, covering them, because, you know, as an athlete, everybody want to be talked about. I mean, honestly, obviously not bad. You don't want to get talked about bad, but really good or bad, everybody want to be in front of camera. Everybody want to get talked about, man. It makes you feel a little better. So, you know, it's been fun, and JP, I appreciate you putting this whole thing into action, because I know it's something we always kind of chatted about for a while, but for you to actually make it come to fruition, man, I appreciate it. It was big time, bro. So,
well, that's all we got for y'all this year, man. I hope that y'all tune in next year, whether or not you're here or not. Just keep up with us, and we're going to try to make this thing better for y'all time and time again. We'll see you guys this time next year. All right.
Man, appreciate it, bro.
That's it, man. Y'all see how I did that, man? All that